pack for going on a photo trip. So I am going to Wyoming to photograph grizzly bears tomorrow, and I'm going to take everything that I need for that trip. So first of all, I'm going to take my biggest backpack. This one is a Tamarack. I really like this bag. It's big enough to carry all the gear that I need, including my telephoto lens, but also has space for my laptop as well, which I think is always really important for me to be able to carry a laptop into the field to make sure I can download the pictures. Another feature about this bag I really like is that it does have a spot for my tripod to be able to be carried on there. I've now already packed that tripod in my check bag. It's just a little bit bigger, and that's an easier way of carrying it. So the first thing that I'm going to pack in my bag here is my telephoto lens. This is my Nikon D850, and I've got the 200 to 500 millimeter lens on there. This is the lens I'm going to be using the most. Now when I'm packing it, I always make sure I take the lens hood and I turn it around so it's smaller in the bag. And I always make sure that I am packing it with the cap on my camera, so I have added protection. I also do have a shoulder strap on here as well, and this is something that I always use to protect my neck and back when I'm photographing. So I'm going to put this in the longest part of the bag. I've preset everywhere I want to put the equipment, so I do have it all velcroed and it's nice and protected in there to make sure it's not shifting around when it does move around. So the second camera I'm going to be taking is a wide angle. Now this is a Canon 5DS. This is what I use for landscapes. It's a nice high resolution camera. Now one of the things that I do for this is I do take off the lens and I put these little caps on. This way it just packs a little tighter and a little safer. I also make sure that I am putting the lens cap on, turning the hood, and then locking it at the smallest part of the lens. And I pop that in here in its own little spot, as well as the camera in its own little holder as well. So second, or next I should say, is I'm going to bring a couple extra lenses. So I've got here, this is my Nikon. This is a teleconverter. This allows me to get some extra reach. When you're photographing something like bears, you want to make sure you are giving them plenty of space, minimum of 100 yards. So this is a 2x teleconverter. On my 500 millimeter lens, that means I can get to 1,000 millimeters if I need to. So I put that in a little pouch and I put it in one of these little pockets here. Next, I'm going to take a shorter lens for my Nikon. This one is a 28 to 105. This is just going to give me more options for wide angle if I need it. Also popping that in one of these little spots. I also carry a 18 to 55, so a lot more wide angle. This is also a Nikon. And I'm going to take, this is a Tamron. It is a macro lens. This is for the Canon. It's just what fits on the Canon here, just in case I want to do any macro photography while I'm out in the field. And popping that in here as well. And a couple other things to consider. You want to make sure that you're always carrying extra batteries. I have 2 extra batteries for the Canon, 1 and 2, and the charger. I'm popping that in here. I'm also carrying the charger for the Nikon and a spare battery. And I'm popping that in here to keep it together. Extra memory cards. I always carry several extra memory cards. I photograph with 128 gigs at a time, and I have a couple extras just in case. A few of these little extra ports in case I need to swap lenses, make sure that no dust is getting in my camera. I do have another camera. It is a mirrorless Nikon, and it is what I'm photographing with here, but it'll go in the bag as well. And this is a converter that allows me to use that mirrorless camera with my Nikon DSLR lenses. So I'm going to use that as well. Pop that in here. I do have a couple other memory cards. These are compact flash cards. These go to the Canon camera. So I'm gonna make sure I bring extra memory cards for that as well. The charger for the mirrorless. A couple more of these hoods. Because it is still a time of COVID, my mask, make sure I have it. I am outside and I will be alone primarily, but you want to make sure you always have a little added protection. I do have a camera strap. Now I do use the shoulder strap, but it is good to have an extra strap just in case. I'm also going to bring a lens cover for when it rains. It is predicted to rain a little bit, so I want to make sure I have some rain protection as well. And I'll pop that in here in the top. I do have two of these. One's already in here. I'm going to bring lens cloth to make sure I clean my lenses while I'm out there. A couple other things, binoculars. These are great if you're looking for wildlife. Sometimes the wildlife can be pretty far, and this will help you identify what you're looking for. I like to carry extra hard drives to make sure I can store all the pictures. You don't want to end up with not enough space. I usually bring 2 to 3 of these extra hard drives. This lens is staying. I'm going to bring a few other things here. A couple pens, you just never know. Hand sanitizer, Dayquil, allergy season, you never know. Some Purell wipes, and I like to carry a journal just in case there's something that I want to write, to know. If you can't see him in the frame, this is my dog Dodger. He really wishes he was coming as well. And like I said before, I'm going to bring my laptop. So now that this bag is nice and secure and packed, I'm going to close it up. I'm going to pop my laptop here in the front. I'm going to make sure I bring the charger for the laptop. I always like to have a mouse when I'm editing. So mouse pad and mouse. Those are the pens. Some of the Purell wipes and Dayquil, hand sanitizers, pens. Something else that not everybody thinks about is I always make sure I carry a flashlight. You are arriving sometimes before sunrise and sunset, making sure that the battery are fresh in there. And there we go. So I've got everything that I need to make sure that I am getting the most out of my photographic experience. I'll follow that in there. I love this bag. It carries so much. And then we're there to go. Always make sure that I also have a tag on there. Once in a blue moon, they try to gate check this bag if it's too big, so you want to make sure that there is a tag on it just in case you get separated. Hopefully that was helpful. And as always, if you have any questions, you can always reach out and ask them. So I hope you enjoy your photographic experiences as much as I will.